Today we are going to talk on literature and other arts. That is the topic of our paper Literary Criticism, paper 609. As we know, literature draws its inspiration, or literature draws the material from the world, the society, from the people. Likewise, it draws inspiration or its material from the other arts also. Can you answer what are the other arts other than the literature? Literatures, yes. Very nice. Other than the literature, we have the other arts form, and those are the music, painting, sculpture. These are the other forms of arts. Before we go to see the relationship between literature and other arts, we should define what is arts. Today's lecture is number one, to define art. These are the topics that we will cover. We will define the form, the art itself. Then we will identify the kinds of arts as we have discussed. We will then compare and differentiate various artworks. And last but not least is to appreciate the value of a work of art, right? So this will be the lecture altogether. What is the meaning of art then? Go through it. The word art is derived from ARS, ars, meaning, what is the meaning of the word ARS? Ars? Ability or skill. Arts cover the areas of artistic creativity. It is not anything else, but it is creativity, but it is artistic creativity. Any art is a kind of artistic creativity. We have a number of pictures, we will see it later on. Who is the maker of the art? Artist. We all are the viewers of that particular art. Now, what is the artist? What he does? First of all, this is the quality of an artist. He should know the basics of art making. If one wants to paint, he should know the basics of painting. What colors should be mixed or what colors should be used. If somebody wants to write something, a poem or short story, he should know the basics of what is a short story, what makes a poem, right? So artists should have the qualities. We know artists are sometimes born. કેટલીક વાર કલાકાર જન્મે છે, એનામાં પહેલાંથી જે ગુણ હોય છે, he has that quality, extra quality. His sheer discipline makes him better. Many of us have that quality, but we don't care for this. That is why all of us are not achieving that goal. See, what he does, he brings with him or her ideas. He has ideas, ideals, feelings, fears, emotions, social condition and history. This is what make a work of art. Artist through these things makes a work of art. He brings in it, in a work of art, he brings in it what? His ideas. He uses his ideas, his ideals, his feelings for that particular object, from where he has got that inspiration. Fears, emotions, social condition. We know, we have already seen literature and society, right? Anyone will write from or around his or her surroundings, right? And history. He will have the historical background in his mind. He has his own style. Every artist has his own style to do. If somebody tries to paint and the other tries to copy him or her, same thing will not happen. Same painting will not come out. Right? Somebody will begin with the upper line and somebody will begin with the lower line. It is our own style. Writing or painting or any artist has his own style to produce something. Here we have examples. Somebody will create an abstract thing. Somebody will follow the modernism. Somebody will follow the cubism, classical or social realism. Right? Everybody has his own ideals, own ideas, own psychology, and that he will represent. What is a viewer? Viewer means the person who appreciates, who sees that particular work of art, whatever it is, either painting or poetry or sculpture or whatever it is. The person who enjoys that particular work of art. So he is a gazer. He will look at it. He will gaze at that particular work of art. He is an own looker. He own looks that particular work. So an audience means listen. He will listen to it. If there is the painting, we will gaze. If there is the poetry, we will own look. If there is the music, we will listen, audience. And as you are doing, અત્યારે આપણે જે કરી રહ્યા છે. What we can do is, at our stage, what we can do, so we must take the role of an art critic. What is our role? To look at that particular work of art as art critic. Critic, what critic does? What does critic do? He will try to find out the good aspects, the bad aspects, right? Criticism is this. આ સારું છે, નરસું છે, ખરાબ છે, સરસ છે, whatever it is. So we will try to do that, evaluate that work of art as an art critic. Examines the artwork from a historical. કઈ રીતે જોવાનું છે એને? What will be our perspectives? Historical, social, biographical, critical or other points of view. These are the points of view to look at the work of art. Right? If there is the Richard II or Henry VIII or Hamlet, you have studied King Lear, we will look at it at historical way because they are all history plays, right? So it is up to the point of view of the viewer the person who reads or see or watch that particular work of art. So, what is work? What is an art then? First of all, who is the maker of the art? Man. Art is man-made, neither God nor any other animals. Who creates? Man. Art is man's way of expressing. Any literature is the expression of life, expression of society that we see, we know. So, a man's way of expressing his or her emotions. What does the artist express? In any of the art, either music or poetry or sculpture, he expresses his emotions, his dreams, right? Aspirations. Aspirations means apeksha, failures and disappointments. He will express all these things. Art is thus the subject to multiple interpretations. If there is one art, if there is one particular poem or one particular painting, we can have different meanings. A number of meanings you can derive from that particular work of art. Every viewer will have a different point of view, right? So, multiple interpretations can be possible. Art should be pleasing, whatever it is, but we have already seen aestheticism. So, जो ये छेल्ले aesthetic pleasure, it should be pleasing, it should not harm you, it should not be, you can say, a kind of pinch to you. It should please you, it should give joy to you, right? That is aesthetic pleasure. Art is intertwined with the society and culture. Intervene, વણાયેલું છે કોની સાથે? Society and culture. Art has function to uplift the society. It has the function, or it gets inspirations from society, or you can say culture, but at the same time it has the function to uplift the society, right? And the most is art is very powerful. It has extraordinary power. What are the kinds of art? First of all, visual arts that you can see. Then music that we can listen to. Dance that we can perform, it is performing art. And last but not least is literature, writing and reading. The work of art is there. What are the similarities and differences between the arts? Verbal arts like poetry, prose and drama, શાનો ઉપયોગ થાય છે એમાં? Words. Words are used. That is literary arts. Emotions and passions are invoked. That invoke emotions and passions. Visual arts uses lines. Other visual arts, what do they use? Lines, colors, right? Tones or canvas for aesthetic purposes. So that is the difference. Literature uses words, verbal, it is verbal. The other arts are non-verbal. Clear? She is from F5B, semester 2. Please sit down. Artists in the world of arts. Where is the artist? In visual arts, who are the artists? Painters. We can call painter who paints. Architect, the person who designs. And sculptor. Sculpture, the person who makes sculptures is called sculptor. The painter paints pictures that we have already talked about, objects from his own imagination. The artists in music and dance, there is the movement. In dance, there is the movement. The artists are musicians, singers and the composers. The dancer is an artist who moves his body artistically. It requires creative ability. Everybody cannot be a good dancer. And literary artists, they are called poets or playwrights, dramatists, novelists, storytellers, right? How can you perceive these arts? Visual arts are perceived by our eyes. We can look at the work of art by our eyes, which may be classified into graphic arts or plastic arts. We can say them the graphic arts or plastic arts. Graphic arts have flat two-dimensional surface. It has two-dimensional surface, drawing, painting or photography. Plastic arts have three-dimensional forms, architectural designs, landscape. So, graphics, two dimensions, right? Plastic arts, three dimensions. And performing arts include theatre, play, dance, music. Otherwise, you cannot perform. Literary arts include short stories, poetry and drama. And popular arts nowadays are films, even newspaper, magazine, radio, television, where you can find these arts to be performed. Cuisine involves skills in food preparation. That is also an art now. These are the new arts. Master Chef ne બધું જોતા હશો તમે, right? Australian Master Chef is very popular among the world population. Decorative arts, that is also a newly developed art. Decorative arts, objects produced for beautifying houses, offices, cars, etc. What is the value of arts? Values and reasons for arts. Artworks are valuable sources of inspiration and aesthetic experience. Any artwork is a source of inspiration. It gets inspiration from the objects, and then as I said, it can be the source of inspiration to establish the values in society. The artist's works give us a glimpses of the thoughts. It should provoke thought in our mind. Feelings and beliefs of the people in their time. I said earlier, artist draws inspiration from society of that particular time. Right? If we read Kalidas, we will find the ideology, the ideals, the thoughts, the lifestyle of the people of that time and not the present time, right. So, what does the art make us believe? Thoughts, feelings and beliefs of the people in their time, the contemporary time, and environment, and time and environment where they belong. How can you understand a work of art? What can be done to understand a work of art? First of all, we will have to ask ourselves, what did the artist make? If you ask this question, what is it about? કોઈપણ આર્ટને મૂલવવા માટે, સમજવા માટે, viewer should have these questions. He should look at the work of art in this way. કયો પ્રશ્ન ઊભો થવો જોઈએ એને? What did the artist make? અને શું આ રચના કરી છે? What is this all about? What is it about? The subject. શું મળશે એનાથી? Subject. Then next question that should arise in our mind is, what did the artist want to show in his work? એ શું બતાવવા માગે છે? If you can answer this question from that particular work of art, after seeing, after reading or perceiving that work of art, if we can answer this question, we can understand, and that will be the function of the work of art, right. Every work of art has a particular function, whether it is moral or whatever it is, right. So we can understand why is this work written, the function of that work of art. What is the artwork made of? What is used? What are the ingredients in that particular work of art? That will give you the answer of the materials and medium. In literature, medium is words, language, right. Then what is the personality or individuality of the work of art? What is the personality or individuality of the work of art? If we can answer that question after reading that particular work, or after seeing that particular work, observing that particular work, then we will find its mood and temper. Mood and temper. It can be sad, it can be joyous. બરાબર, કેવો મૂડ હોઈ શકે? Sigh no more ladies, sigh no more. કયો મૂડ છે? Sad, right. My love is like a red rose. Is there sad? Is the mood sad? No, joy, right. So we can answer this after reading that particular poem. What is the meaning conveyed by the art? What does it want to convey then? What is the meaning conveyed? That is, if we can get it, it will lead you to moral of that work of art. What is the moral? What is the lesson we have from that particular work of art? How good is it? Your judgment. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, right. If we go to the theatre, when we come out, yaar maja na aavi, then no stars. Somebody will say, "Ah, maja aayi gayi." Then 5 stars. Somebody will say, "Samjha yaar." So 2 star, 3 star. એક વાર જોવાય, બીજી વાર ના જોવાય. કોઈ ફોન કરીને પૂછે કેવી રહી ફિલ્મ, એક વાર જોવાય. Means there are 2 or 3 stars, not more than this. So your judgment about that work of art, how you rank that work of art, right. Lionel Ventura says, It is not the canvas, the hue, the oil or temper, but the contribution of arts to our life. What is important? The contribution of arts to our life, that is important. Its suggestions to our sensations, feelings and imaginations, that is important. Now the question is, let us evaluate. Can animal be the artist? Animal I am taking. Depend your answer. If yes, depend your answer. Can animal the artist? Art is man-made, that is what we have said. No, other animals cannot be the artists. Art is only man-made, that you should know. Clear? So the answer is no, not yes. How is the mood or temper expressed by the artist on this art? કયા પ્રકારનો મૂડ તમને દેખાય છે? નેચર તો છે, પણ મૂડ કયા પ્રકારનો છે? જોયસ, રાઈટ? ઇટ ઇઝ નોટ સેડ. રોડ નોટ ટેકન, મેં કદાચ બતાવ્યું હશે તમને, પાંદડા ખર્યા હોય, that is not that much good mood, not joyous. Here it is joyous mood. What do you think is the function of this art? What does it show? What is the function? Not mood. I am talking about the function. What does this service of people, right? A young lady is in the service of an old person, right? Right? That it is not romance. There is nothing like romance. Right? The person is old one, dying, and that lady is taking care of him. Right? Right? So humanity is there. What is the function? Humanity. Right? Okay then. Shall we call it a day? Thank you very much. Do you have any question?